based on the phones, that's about 39% today. That's 117 million users. That's really the bulk. Most of these guys are comfortable with SMS, not all of them, and they're learning to use data services quite rapidly. And there's been excellent initiatives that operators have taken. If you, most of you have noticed on most of the operators today that if you buy a brand new phone, show a SIM in, you get service settings, GPRS activations are possible, GPRS has been made kind of free. So data and database services is really one of the rapidly growing areas, and that's a very, very large target base. So that kind of opens up, even though we say that if you create a vast service that's purely database, that the market size is slow or low today, the fact is that the data shows us that that's going to really increase really rapidly, and that's very good news for many of us who have been here, who have kind of struggled saying how do we operate in a world that doesn't really have database services, because of course that's the easiest one for a lot of innovation to happen. But the truth is, there is and will always remain in a market like India a low end, and that low end is 59% and growing. And it will continue to grow if you really look at the tele-density and the other this ones. If that continues to grow, that's the market that's also still growing the rapidest. In fact, some of you may not believe this, and I was stunned that mono downloads have actually grown in the Indian market space. So that's also an indicator of the fact that many of these kind of things have kind of happened. And that's about 175 million users right now, and really low SMS usage. Many of you who read the reports will have noticed that there's been a drop in the percentage of consumers who can send an SMS in this country. That's really now hovering around, 1/3 of the people, about 30%, 33% of the people today can send an SMS in this country, and that's really the truth. And they really prefer or are looking at voice-based services, but in local languages. Or we need to come up with some kind of a technology or solutions that can really run on these low-hand handsets in their local language. Again, literacy is probably going to be a barrier for many of those services. So when we think of a VAS service, and when we think in many ways, VAS or the opportunity in VAS is very similar to the opportunity of the internet. It's really wide open for the kind and the width of services that somebody could try to create. And in that such a width of a space, it's going to be really important as to understand what target segment our VAS service might fit in, and ensure that we slot it and set our expectations based on what the market can offer. In general, I think this is kind of coming out very clearly. Rural is showing up today very clearly as an emerging opportunity. It's not there yet, but this is the right time to start investing in what kind of services might appeal to the rural or the rural market. In about 2 years from now, probably in an event like this, there's going to be probably significant emphasis on what are the mobile services for the rural market, and that's not. It's going to be really definitely going to be a reality there. I have seen quite a few initiatives today that are happening. Of course, everybody, most of us in the urban think that mandi prices, rural equal to mandi prices is the first thing that most of us think is the most important thing. But I do believe that there's a huge number of other opportunities, especially in the either education or the livelihood space. If you can actually address or attack many of their livelihood-related problems using mobile as a technology, there's going to be a great take rate for many of the services in that market. That said, prepaid and low balance is a way of life. We are not for, we are also probably the largest missed call alerts country or missed call country. There is no social stigma to my driver giving me a missed call and expecting me to call back. There is no social to a person in a village calling a person in a city and having that expectation that the person in the city or the one with the higher paying power having to call them back. Chota recharge makes the life worse. You can go top up now your prepaid for 10 bucks. What that means is that today with a 90% prepaid market and 95% of almost all new ads being prepaid, there's very, very few people with money on their phones. We are talking about building VAS services, and most of us would like to charge 50 rupees, 99 rupees maybe for a VAS service. Isn't that what our product should be paid? But the truth is there's not going to be too many people out there with that kind of a balance. If you want to create and say I want to price a service at that kind of a price point. Today, if you say I want to create a VAS service at about 99 rupees, a premium VAS service, that's about 5% of your 300 million that you can attack at any point, having the balance to kind of purchase such a product. And about 60% of the users have less than 10 rupees. That's the kind of price or the balance that people now maintain. And there's a lot of users actually having negative balance. But let's not confuse the fact that they don't have money on their prepaid phones with their inability to spend. I mean, if that was the truth, then the largest successful or the most successful service that we have, which is CRBT, ringback tones in this country, which has seen it between 25 to 30% penetration in many markets, would not be a reality. I have spoken, I've made out, consumer research, made outbound calls to consumers in villages. There was this very interesting case when we started making these calls to these villages, and we started with the postman. He had a CRBT. Then we got a few numbers from him of other people in the village, and we called a few others. All of them had CRBT. And we then started asking them, everybody was prepaid, most of them lifetime prepaid. How much did they spend? And most of them had a bill, an average bill size, ticket size of about 70 rupees. Most of their calls were missed calls to somebody in a city with people incoming. The remaining 35, actually in this case 45 rupees, they are actually spending on setting that little tone and music. It's so important to them to have that paid. That guy would complain, that time he was playing this famous song from Karnataka, Mungaru Male, and I asked him, do you know how much you're paying for it? Everybody knew how much they were paying for it. So it's pretty impressive. We should not confuse the fact that there is low balance with the inability to pay. If there's a product that really appeals to them, if it is something that they want, they will pay. That said, that's another shift that we have seen about 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, I would say 3 to 4 years ago. Most of the VAS services were really designed around this, what I call as the pay-per-use model. You could send an SMS at 3 rupees or make an IVR call at 6 rupees, or data charges were there for every packet of data that was being transferred. One significant shift we have seen in the industry today is that the revenue is shifting significantly towards the subscription-based market. We are seeing that the pay-per-use kind of models are actually going down, and subscription-based models where there is a clarity to the consumer on what will he get for how much is coming in. So if you're going to create a subscription product and you say it's priced at X, you want to be sure that he knows what all and everything that he gets, and it's not going to cost more than X in some kind of a hidden or access charge or other ways. So that's a shift that's happening, and we are seeing that it's been a very successful shift. There is a pretty good adoption for subscription-based services that's happening in the country today. Given the fact that we have such low pricing or very, very low balance, naturally, the tendency and the importance of what's happening is that even though we are doing subscriptions, we are having to move towards what we call as sachet-based pricing. That's because, let's say we price a product at rupees 30, if the average balance is going to be 10 or 15 on the person's phone, it's not going to really be renewable, so to speak, when the next month event comes in. So sachet-based pricing is really the reality today. We are going to have to operate, as I say, at cricket at rupees 5 a match, a store at rupees 1 a day. But what that means is it puts a huge demand. And remember, we're talking about products like CRBT at 20% penetration, and we're talking about 25 to 30 million users. And if you're going to move that into a daily charging kind of model, that means so many transactions that you have to in effect do from your charging systems on either the prepaid system. You have to depend, see if he has the money, take the money out, do the grace, figure out how you can retain him, do churn management and so on. So there's a large amount of scaling and scaling of systems that's going to happen, and this is not going to be enough. Whatever scale that we have built to is going to be stretched and demanded more because of the pace of growth of the subscriber base. Every month we are adding 90 lakh new people going out there buying a phone, and as they come in and get into the VAS cycle, you're going to see that this whole sachet based and the importance of sachet based is going to actually grow. So let's look at, that's one kind of a trend. I think broadly I've shared with you some key shifts and changes that have happened in the VAS industry recently. A second very interesting